Hello everyone, and welcome to my game review on Mystick Markets. This game is by Thinkfun, plays players 2 to 5, and it's for ages 10 and up. In this game you will be purchasing, selling ingredient cards and purchasing potions to take advantage of other players in order to manipulate the market and make the most money by selling your ingredients. So welcome aboard. And let's take a look at the components and the gameplay of Mystick Market. Let's go over the components first. Here's some coins. You get 5, 10s, and 1s. These aren't metal. They're actually cardboard, but they're actually really good quality. Here's some vials you get. This is actually what you will be buying ingredients and potions, and you'll be selling these cards, these ingredient cards, which I'm going to be showing you. And you're going to be trying to make some money or manipulate the market to make some money or actually hurt your opponent. Here's a reference card to show you what you can do in each round, which is really good and helpful. Here's an ingredient card, and as you can see here, it tells you it's the dragon scales, which requires you to have a set of 4 of these before you can actually catch these in to make some money. But you also can not only do that, but you actually can cash one of those in to actually reset that actual ingredient or vial back to the top of the market to actually make it the least amount and actually possibly affect your component. Here's some other ingredients. The orc teeth, which requires you to have a set of 3. The kraken tentacles, which requires you to have a set of 3 as well. And the pixie dust, which requires you to have a set of 2. There's a set limit on how many cards there are in here, so the least amount of cards that are in the deck is actually the pixie dust, followed by the green one there, the kraken, the orc, and then you have those some other 2. But there's also some other cards like this that actually resets the vial number back to the least amount. So if you get one of these, this will put it back to the position of 5. It will only cost a 5. The max you can get in this game for one of these sets is 15. And here's another one for yellow, but there's one for each individual vial itself. So it can be reset automatically besides you cashing in some cards and just playing one card to reset the actual game, the actual vial itself. You can also purchase these potions, and you can get some coin, but this one happens to have 0 coin, but you can sometimes get 2, 4, or 6, or even 15, and you have to have these ingredients to actually purchase this. It also gives you an ability, like here you can sell, pretty much cash in half of your hand to actually get the amount that it's worth. So instead of, if I cashed that in and I was collecting 4 of these cards, using that potion would only require me to have 2 of these cards. Now let's go on to the gameplay. Alright, the setup will be like this. Each player will get 5 coin, followed by they will get dealt out 4 cards, each player, and I'm setting up a 2-player game here. You will also have 5 potions displayed out in the marketplace. That's what they call the potion marketplace. This is the ingredient marketplace. This is where you lay out the ingredients right below the potions, and the deck of cards are to the right, and your discard cards can go to the right or the left as well. Each player will review their cards, as in this case we have 2 red cards and actually 2 purple cards. And what we'll do is review the actual market. As I showed you before, here's the vials, and here's the actual numbers of how much these each individually how much we would gain if we were to sell a set of cards or discard a set of cards. Also, these little dots represent how much it would cost if we went out in the marketplace and purchased one of these. So for instance, if we wanted to go out here and purchase this red card, we can, in an action, you can either purchase a card, you can discard if we had 4 sets of red, we can discard 4 sets and get the actual amount of money, which in this case we did the red, which would be 5. If we purchased them, they would be 1. That's what these knots are. And we can also purchase cards from the actual ingredient deck, which cost 2 coins. You can also swap cards to say we didn't want these 2 cards and we wanted these 2. We can just swap them, and that's a free move. We don't pay anything. That's the only move, truthfully, that's free. But you have to do one turn. You either have to buy either from the card or the deck. You either have to, well, they say sell, which is like a pair. If we had these and we wanted to sell these, the actual pixie dust, we would get 15 coin. If we sold these, we get 15 coin plus the 5, which we have 20, and that would be our turn. You have to do one action. Purchasing these potions do not count towards as an action. You can do any amount of purchases or using these cards as you want in any given turn. So if I had a red card and a yellow card and I wanted to purchase this, the elixir luck, I would have to discard the actual ingredients applicable here, which would be red and yellow. I'd get that, but that still does not count as an action. I still have to either purchase, swap, or discard a set to obtain the value on the actual vial set here. Once you do discard a set, you do have to remove it. So that when we discarded the actual purple vial, the pixie dust, you have to remove it from here and set it to the top, which you can notice is now worth 5. So if somebody else had a set, and they were planning on that turn to sell that actual pixie dust, the purple, now player 1 messed up their scheme, as now they would only get 5 if they were to sell it. You can also discard a single card to do the same action. Not to sell it, but actually reset the actual vial of that color to actually reset it to 5 instead of, if it was before, it was on 8, it would be 5. And you would do that to manipulate the market. So if you see a user collecting these orange cards, the Phoenix Feather, and you feel like they're going for that particular vial to make some money, you can actually, like I said, it goes down here, you can actually discard that card, reset it, and be back to 5, and they're unlikely to sell it, and they'll probably hold on to it. So it's kind of a card counting game as well. It's a very fun game, easy to learn, pretty quick to play. The objectives, it's open to whatever you want to do. They say the game ends when one of like 3 or 4 conditions, when all of the cards for the ingredients are out, or when the potion deck runs out. You can also do it based on coins. You can do 40, 50, 60 coins. It's up to you. But this is a very fun and I think relaxing and easy to learn game. Overall, I thought the game is very fun and entertaining, especially if you want to get young individuals to understand how the market works. I mean, it has its own little fairy tale, I guess, ish, because it uses pixie dust instead of actual stock. But these vials, the way it uses the vials, I think is really good for people who are interested, who want to understand how the market kind of works in the game. That's not very in-depth and hard to understand. I like the way how you can use your cards to manipulate the market. So if you see someone collecting a whole bunch of the yellow or cards, if I have one in hand, I can just use that card to reset it to the top. So if it was down at like 10 coins And I've seen someone with stacking up. I can just discard a yellow card, the orc card, and it'll set it back to 5. Also, I like the use of the potion cards, and they're, it doesn't count as an action. I like the limited amount of action, so you can't just grab as many cards as you want. So it kind of limits what's your capability, because each round that you go through, you only can do one action. I like that. But like I said, I think it's really good for adults and kids who want to understand kind of how you can manipulate the market with like a fairy tale-ish, I guess, or magical realm game. Because there are other games out there that are actually stock market games, but it's much more in depth and more difficult, especially for the young kids to understand. But I give this Mystick Markets an 8 out of 10. Of course, that's my opinion, but I give Mystick Markets a 8 out of 10 with very easy understanding. Also, what I also like is the setup. The setup's not even 5 minutes. Well, I guess you take about 5 minutes, because you just have to shuffle the ingredient cards, shuffle the potion cards, play them out. You put out the actual ramp, and then you put the potions in the particular order that tells you how to start. And that's it. And you just you deliver 4 cards a person, give them 5 coins, and there you go. Very quick, very simple to set up, and very simple to tear down. That's kind of important. And so in my games, there are some other games that I have that are more complex, and they have a lot of setup time and tear down time, which is why I don't play them as much. I might like them. I don't play them as much because it just takes so much time to set up and take down. But like I said, this is very quick, very easy. I'd recommend looking for it online if you're thinking about purchasing it. In stores, if they're there, it's usually more expensive, but normally this game goes for, I'm going to say $25 to $30. But I'd recommend when it goes on sale. Sometimes it's $15, sometimes it's $10 to purchase it. But if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. If you have any questions about the game, leave any questions you have down below, and I'll answer back. Also, I do plan on doing a gameplay. It's not soloable, so if you're new to the gaming world, solo games are for people that just play themselves, a single player game. I can't figure out a way to make it a solo-based game where only one person and you have an AI or some mechanism that makes a decision. There's too many decisions to make for it to be a single-player game. So what I plan on doing is making a 2-player game, just kind of like playing against myself, and just giving you guys a feel how each step can play. Once I get things set up, maybe I can do a streaming online, and I can maybe play against one particular viewer online. I'm also thinking about, if I can't get that set up in time, to post a video of the setup. I'll start my hand, leave it set up, and then post a question or post a video of the setup, and let you, the viewer, decide on what the next move is. What card do you want to discard? What do you want to buy? What do you want to sell? What potion you want to purchase? Ingredients. Do you want to spend $2 or 2 coin to retrieve 2 cards from the deck? So it'll be online play. It won't be real time if I can't get the streaming running properly. But I'll at least record a video, leave it up for a week, and see what feedback I get. And we'll play that next round by round that way. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. Have a wonderful day.